And time for our Talk of the Town today here on AM 1390 KRFO. And Roseanne Kubicek joins us. She usually does about this time of the year to get us ready for the Litomysl Summer Festival coming up on Sunday. And everything all set to go pretty much, huh, or not?
Oh yes, we're in the planning stages, but everything's working out well.
And the weatherman sounds like he's going to be good to you too, like 80s and such like that. 44th annual, and you've been there almost from the beginning, haven't you?
Yes, I'm a lifelong member of the parish.
44 years you've been doing this.
Oh,
All
yes.
right. Well, things get underway Sunday at the church. I suppose it wouldn't hurt again just to remind folks how to find the church. You'd always like to have first-time people come by. So how do we get there?
Yeah, it's at Holy Trinity Catholic Church, and it's rural Owatonna. The address is 9946 Southeast 24th Avenue, and that is if you go out of Owatonna on County Road 45, then you go 8 miles on south of Owatonna, and then you go 2 miles east on County Road 4, or it's also called Southeast 98th Street, and this church is right there on the corner on 24th Avenue. And if you wanted to come out on the interstate, you go 6 miles south of Owatonna on Interstate 35 to the Hope exit, which is number 32, and then you turn left on County Road 4 to County Road 3, and you turn right there and you go half a mile, and then you go 3 miles east on the County Road 4, which is also 98th Street, and you're right there at the corner of the church and County Road 4.
Okay. And you find the church, and maybe we'll point out again too, where do you park? What's the parking situation?
Well, we have a big parking lot which is south of the school, and then we also have people park on the road, but we have a shuttle. And so the shuttle will come along and pick you up, so you don't have to feel like you have to walk all the way up to the church.
Okay, I want to bring that up because there is that free shuttle. Okay, things start at 10 o'clock with the polka mass. Want to talk a little bit about that first, Roseanne? Or?
Yes, well actually at 9:15 the Owatonna KC Choir will be singing in the church, and then the polka mass will begin, and Father John Sauer will be celebrating that, and the Litomysl group will be singing again. They've done this for quite a few years. They're parishioners and past parishioners and relatives of parishioners, and they play the church music into polka rhythm, and it's really a nice mass.
Okay. Oh, I see the word, the Little Miscellaneous Group. Oh,
yes.
There's a word to say, and I'm not proud I can say it. All right, churches starts at 10. Now at 11 o'clock, the fun starts. Talk about some of the things you can take part in.
Well, first of all, we will not have the oral auction this year south of the school, so that will not be. But in the school, the silent auction will begin at 11, and there's lots and lots of many items that are great to bid on there. And then that will close at 3. And then also in the school, there are 3 rooms full of used a bit items, which are very inexpensive, so be sure you go in and check that out. And then also by the school will be the prune, poppy seed, and apricot biscuits, which we will be making on Friday and then putting in an air-conditioned room until Sunday. Those are $8 a dozen, and we will not be having any frozen ones this year. But I would recommend that you do bring a cooler to put your biscuits in so that they're not sitting in a hot car. And then over by there'll be a nice display of gas engines also between the school and the church, and that's always very interesting to watch. And also there'll be all the indoor food will be downstairs in the church basement, and that'll start at 11 and end at 2. And there you can have a sandwich with potato salad, which is Janice Pedersen's very good potato salad, and baked beans, ice cream, and a beverage. And also they'll have pie and filled biscuits that you can buy down there. And then outside from 11 o'clock until 5 there'll be all the outdoor food, which this year again you will buy tickets for that at the information booth, which is just east of the church. And those food available will be pork rib sandwiches, pork burgers, hot dogs, brats, root beer floats, walking tacos, and refreshments. And those will be served until 5. And then of course all the games begin. We have many children's games, including live pony rides, and we have Plinko and Fish Pond, spin the wheel game. We also have a dime toss. And then of course the just south of the church in a great big tent is the root beer barrel game. And in that game we wrap about 10 to 11,000 root beer barrel candies with aluminum foil, and over half of them have a number in them, and that number corresponds with a prize. So there's always wonderful things to win there, and one of the bigger prizes on that will be a nice bicycle. And then we have the country store, which also has a lot of good produce from the Harishi gardens as well as the parishioners' gardens, and also a lot of baked goods and eggs and so on. So there is something for just about everyone. Well, we have the bingo and the pull tabs also, so there's something for everyone.
There's music usually off and on throughout the day as well.
Oh yes, the music will begin about, I think that begins around 11 in the bandstand north of the church, and that will be the Czech Lights again this year and the Dan Stursa Band. And then in the church at 2 o'clock, the Klecker Band will play, and they've played at all of our festivals. And Hans Horman was going to play by the school, but due to health problems, he is not going to be able to this year.
Okay. And the root beer barrels, 10,000, 11,000. So when do you start wrapping those up again?
Oh, the beginning of June. And we get a lot. We've gotten probably over 300 businesses who have donated us prizes for that and for our children's games and for the silent auction. And so we have lots of very nice prizes. Some of them include tickets to Chanhassen, to the Mall of America, lots of good gift certificates from a lot of the restaurants around Otana and Blooming Prairie and Allendale. And there's going to be, on the silent auction actually, we had donated a very nice wooden rocking chair that was homemade. And there's just about something for everyone.
So the root beer barrels, are they kind of like in big bags, or how does that work?
Yes, they do.
And then you dump them out, and then you sit there and you wrap them hour after hour after hour.
I have other ladies that do that. I personally don't do that. I organize the prizes for that, but I don't actually do any of the wrapping. So.
Talk about the making of the biscuits. They're kind of special. What is it? Is it regular bread? I can't bake it. Is it bread dough with jam, or how does it work?
It's dough. Yes, it's from yeast, and they start mixing, I think, around 6:30. And we actually made like 240 dozen on July 11th and sold those already. And so we are hoping on this Friday to make probably at least 320 dozen or so. And it's an assembly line. It's really, everyone kind of has their own job. The ladies that mix the dough mix it in the kitchen, and then out in the dining room, there's about 5 different tables that people put them together, which it's very simple to do, so anybody that'd like to come out and learn how, they certainly are welcome. And then we have the bakers. We have several ladies that bake, and then we have the wrappers. And then we have to have movers to move them over to the school, which we do have some young boys that help us with that. And so it's quite the process.
It's like a tradition. I imagine a lot of the same people come every year. It's sort of like the old days. They had the husking bee and the taffy pull, and you have the bukti making.
Bukti making, that's right. Okay. And it's a very good way to get to know our fellow parishioners.
Okay. And the funds that are raised, they go just general funds, or is they targeted for a certain area, or?
Well, they have, in the past, we have used some of the funds for St. Isidore School, but as you know, St. Isidore School closed at the end of May due to the lack of enrollment, and so we will keep the building going. We're going to use it for youth activities and so on, so there'll be expenses there. And then also we are going to use the funds this year and in future years for the parish.
Okay, and again, this is coming up on Sunday. We're talking to Roseanne Kubicek, the Holy Trinity Catholic Church, is setting for the Litomysl Summer Festival, and it starts at 11 o'clock. Some other things, got a target? How many people you usually kind of expect to hit the grounds? Or? It's
very difficult to count because we don't have an admission charge. We estimated several thousand, but because they go from the grounds of the school way over to the end of the church grounds, and so it's lots and lots of area for people to be. There's a lot of places to sit too and listen to the music. There's a big tent by the music, and there's picnic tables, and so you can come and just relax and enjoy yourself too.
I suppose a lot of folks, probably old parishioners who move far away, they kind of use that as the family get together. They come from far away, don't they? Or?
A lot of them do that, and it's really fun to watch as they enjoy each other's company, and it's a lot of the people that used to go to St. Isidore School come also, and so it's really a nice experience.
Is there a way for someone who wanted to get some of those buktis and they can't make it? Is there a way to get them if they can't make it to the festival or not?
Well, we did have on July 11th. We did have advance orders, and so they could have then. But for this, we usually don't do that because then it gets to be too complicated.
I thought it might be, but I thought I'd just throw it out.
But I'd suggest you come early. Come by 11 to buy them, or before 11, and then usually they're sold out by 1 or so. And bring a cooler because you're really going to want to keep your biscuits cool.
Okay. Anything else we want to talk about as far as the Litomysl Festival we haven't talked about?
Well, we haven't talked about the big raffle,
Go
big
for
ticket
it.
raffle.
All right.
We are going to have the big ticket raffle again. And this year, we used to have a lawnmower raffle too, but this year we're not doing that. Instead, this year the big ticket raffle is the first and the second prizes are $500 each, which the parish is donating. And then the third prize is $250 that Advantage Cabinets has donated. And the fourth and fifth prize are $250 worth of a meat certificate from Steve's Meat Market, which John and Lynn Schiller have donated. And there's 67 prizes, and this year they're only cash or gift certificates. And so that drawing will be probably around 4:30 on the bandstand north of the church. And also, you can buy these tickets ahead of time, and you don't have to be present to win.
Okay. Again, the polka mass at 10, but what time does the actual entertainment, the music start? Like 9?
Well, the Casey Choir will be in the church at 9:30. I mean
Okay.
9:15, but the rest of the music and stuff outside starts at 11.
Okay. And again, anything else you want to add before we wrap it up, Roseanne?
Our church is actually air conditioned and handicapped accessible.
That's important to mention. It's going to be in the low 80s. So, okay. It's again the festival coming up Sunday at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church of Litomysl. Just head south of Owatonna on 45, and you can follow the signs. It's pretty well marked. That's our Talk of the Town for today here on AM 1390 KRF.